The Sedalia Water and Sanitation District applied to Douglas County for CDBG funding to help with a water infrastructure improvement project.
They had an existing structure that was outdated and a health and safety concern.
Sedalia's infrastructure is very aged, and steps need to be taken to start improving its infrastructure as things become more and more likely to fail as time goes on, and keeping things updated is very essential to maintaining a reliable system.
I believe what it will do is improve the quality and the ability of this well to pump more water to better serve the residents. So this is one piece of 3 stages of funding that we have already approved.
CDBG funds are very important to the Douglas County community, especially to areas like Sedalia.
It's a community development block grant. It's federal funds through the Housing and Urban Development Organization.
Every 5 years we do a long-range plan basically for the CDBG program. So during this last year we just updated that plan, and we went through about at least 6 months of public outreach, and the priorities that we developed just from that input from the citizens and the service providers were that affordable housing and public services are a high priority for Douglas County, and then that projects such as this, like infrastructure projects, economic development, property improvements, those types of projects are considered a medium priority. It's also, based on how much of a benefit is it for the community, how much of a benefit is it for the low and moderate income residents.
Sedalia requested CDBG funds to help improve its infrastructure for just maintaining its water treatment system and just enhancing the service to its customers. And they are a small district with limited means, so the CDBG funds are a great benefit to help address some of the deficiencies of the system. The CDBG application process was fairly streamlined. We had a great deal of help from the Douglas County personnel in giving us guidelines on what we need to put together and what they'd like to see in the application process. There was an initial letter of interest step, then the final application process.
Sedalia's application as a strong contender for funding was specifically geared to our responding to a health and safety issue in that community.
And in this case, this is quite a benefit because water is such an important, aspect of people's lives that, there is a high benefit to making sure that they have proper water, they have the proper flows, the water is of a high quality. So we want to make sure that we support those types of projects.
Infrastructure is primarily the buried components in a water system, the piping, the valves, the wells, the pump stations, and just the physical components of the system. For this community development project that we are undergoing right now, this will provide increased water pressure for the system and improve fire flows and better water reliability, also improved chemical metering. And these issues are all critical in maintaining the health and safety of the water system.
They have an alluvial well that is not in the best of shape. It's quite old and it needed to be upgraded to better serve the residents of the district.
The process for this particular well we got involved with because the well has been failing over time. In a sense, failure means it's lost production from the permitted and decreed production level of 125 gallons a minute. The latest test on it where it was down to 18 gallons per minute. It's not really a producing well that's particularly good for the city to use. The supply will be increased from the standpoint of this particular well. There's 3 wells for the town of Sedalia. The 2 alluvial wells are a lot cheaper to produce water from because they're shallower. You don't have to lift the water as high. The Arapahoe Aquifer well, the pumps have to lift that water 1,000 feet to the surface. It takes a lot more energy. If we can improve the production of this alluvial well, the energy cost will drop for the town, less costly water. So that's one of the reasons for doing it. It's certainly a very important reason to do it.
The next stage, they're going to be putting in a booster pump station which will help improve the fire flows and the water pressure.
Fire flows are when you open a fire hydrant within the town, either for flushing hydrants or for combating a fire. And that is very difficult for the current system to handle. Increased fire flows within Sedalia is very beneficial as it'll improve the ability to combat fires within the community and also reduce the insurance rates within the community. And they are a small district with limited means, so taking on these infrastructure improvement projects is very difficult for a town that size. So the community development block grant has been very advantageous to the town to initiate some of these projects that need to be installed. And these initial phases need to be completed to maintain the reliability of the system.
We were pleased that as stewards of federal funds that we could respond to that so that those issues could be corrected. Not only did we address the health and safety issue, but we also addressed what could have been a very financial constraint on the residents and the small businesses if they had to respond to meeting that community improvement. I am extremely proud of the CDBG program and certainly honored and privileged to serve on it.
Sedalia is very grateful to Douglas County for providing the opportunity to participate in the Community Development Block Grant Program.